Hey PMC fans, what's going on? I'm Noah JTRA, or the Rockin Aerodactyl, and I'm here with the man, the commissioner, Jspeckz. Welcome.
Welcome world. Hello world. It is I, Mayor McCheese. Hello.
Alrighty, so, welcome back to season two. You are the commissioner, but you also basically run everything. So, thank you for actually running everything so smoothly. Because I have to admit, I think I've only been an analyst for 2 leagues, and I've only done one video for the other league, so obviously not long. But this one I think is running the most smoothly I've ever seen it. So
Thank
it's
you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of, even though necessarily, some people can say I'm not really doing anything, but at the same time, I'm doing a lot just because somebody has to be that engine, making sure all the cogs are working the right way. And I'm the one that takes responsibility. If something isn't done, I'll do it, whether I want to or not. If I want it to work, I have to step up. I just take the responsibility. I appreciate you. Uh, Working so hard for one. Oh my lord, you've been busting out everything I've asked
thanks.
in record time, and I just appreciate you. Taking notice of the hard work. We work hard here, man.
We do, and thank you for that. So normally I will be asking the coaches, how did you find the league? But I'm going to ask you, how did you start the league?
So see, I actually love this story. See this, I fun fact, people, if you didn't know, I'm the one that came up with all these questions randomly. I went to my notepad and I was like, we about to get some questions going, and I literally popped these up before the first interview was done. But that does not mean I remember what questions I asked, and that does not mean I like have answers written down. This is completely off the dome, off the top of the head. But as far as what made me start the league, and shout outs to Facebook. I don't like that beep, so I'm gonna get off of Facebook. But yeah, so with the PMC, starting off, there was a league I wanted to get into. It was called the MPP. Oh my lord, the MPCC, ran by U-Turn Crobat and I think Tactical Monkeys. I think now they have like a bigger staff of people running it, stuff like that. But at the time, I was sort of a friend of U-Turn Crobat. So I was like, hey, I just bought a capture card. My capture card is in. Maybe I can try to join your league. I'm really looking for one. And I got denied. They told me I didn't upload enough. They told me uh that I basically was out of luck. Like I wasn't I didn't do enough to get in. And that hurt. And then my boy Dallas also was about to join a Wi-Fi league called the WPF, and I was like, hey, how about he told me about it because I just got my cap card, and he told me about it, and I was like, hey, how about you message the guy that's running it and see if I can get in, and he was like, here, just message him on Twitter, and I reached out to him, and he ignored me.
Oh,
And funny enough, somebody ended up quitting that same league right after they drafted their team and they needed a replacement. And Dallas was like, well, I got Jspeckz. And then he contacted me and I got in. And from there, that was just that. But the thing was, once I got into the WPF, the aesthetics were beautiful. On the outside, it looked amazing. They had all this stuff that was supposed to be there. They had analysts, power rankers. They had people that recorded. They had like all this stuff lined up to make this thing seems so amazing. Like the grass is greener here than there. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then I got in the league, and then obviously I didn't need anybody to capture car for me, but they had Jenners, they had Cap Carters, they had analysts. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see this. And week one, we get one analyst video, and then after that, all the analysts just disappear. Like they don't even reply in the chat. They ripped. They
Oh,
literally ripped. And then the capture carders stopped responding, so people couldn't get their teams genders stopped responding, so nobody could get their teams genned, and then players stopped being active, and it was just a mess. No offense to Yuma, of course, because I ended up joining the WPF later on, and going forward, if it's going to continue, I'd still like to join it because everyone needs a league when your main league is off.
yeah.
Um, but that pretty much, I wouldn't say I took that as, oh, this league sucks. I want to do better. But it was more of, it sparked that interest in me is I want to be in a league that cares about itself. I really want to be in a good league, and I want it to have analysts. I want it to have all these things that draw people to leagues. I don't feel like the GBA should have been the only league, and I wanted to give smaller tubers a chance to play league format. Not to get discriminated against because they're 5, 10, 30 subs. Not saying we let anybody in. You obviously have to, stick to our schedule. You have to be able to upload consistently for our schedule, being at least 2 videos a week. And I mean, that just was like, yeah, I think I can do something like that. I have the mind frame. I have the ability to, once I get into something, I can stick with it and make sure that it doesn't break down. So that's just pretty much what birthed the PMC. Me getting denied and seeing other leagues that I really looked up to, that I really hoped were going to be what it was stacked up to be, and it didn't. So I mean, I just took, the rejection and the failure, for lack of better words, as fuel to try to create my own.
And what you created is amazing. I mean, we already finished season 1, and I believe we did finish the D League.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
By the time this goes up, the D League will be done anyway. But the time we're recording this, the playoffs should be just starting. And yeah, meaning there's only about 3 weeks left, and then I'll probably take a break or two. I mean, a week or two break before PMC season 2, just so I can, relax.
Yeah.
and not pull out the little bit of hair I have, and just take a step back for a little bit, because everybody needs a break, and then just hop right back into it.
And again, I like to commend that, you really do make sure that stuff gets done. And I've already said this again, but I mean, look where it has gotten you again. You already had a season 1 done, D League, and now we're going to season 2. Not all leagues can say they've had a successful first season, and you're going on season 2. So again, congratulations on making it to season 2.
Thank you. See, the main thing I'm happy about, like, yeah, no matter what the league is, somebody's going to miss an upload.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's probably going to miss an upload. Somebody's probably going to quit. Season 1, some uploads were missed, but it wasn't like catastrophic amount of uploads. It's not like I was the only person uploading or anything like that. Like, 1 or 2 people were kind of inconsistent with their uploads, and nobody quit. I went ahead and had to replace someone just because of their situation, and it was just they weren't able to upload anymore, but they didn't want to quit, so nobody quit. In the D League, one person necessarily didn't have to quit, but he had to step down just due to personal reasons, and I was able to replace him instantly. I mean, as far as the D League goes, all the battlers, once, as long as they got their battle video sent to them, they uploaded with no problem. So I mean, I'm kind of happy with how things are going. I feel like we're improving. I just want to lock down a consistent staff. The staff is the main thing that I want to be cemented,
Mm-hmm.
because end of the day, I know majority of the people, no matter what, are going to upload their battles. That's a given. And I mean, the best way to start that is to lead by example. I try to have all my battles up on time, team builders up on time, because I don't want anybody telling me that I'm not uploading in my own league,
Yeah.
So it's like, but I think it starts with the analysts. I think once we cement a staff, like a consistent staff that's going to upload and not have issues uploading just 1 video a week, taking the time to actually pay attention to what's going on in the league and just to upload whatever video they signed up for. I mean, I think once with that and all of the graphical changes I'm working to do, because if you guys can't tell, even from the D League from season 1 to the D League, graphics have increased immensely.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's only taken an even bigger step up, people.
Hype is real for the graphics. So I was going to ask you what your thoughts on the league, but you really gave a full description. So, thank you for answering that.
I'm not going to go ahead and talk over myself again, but this is my baby, man. This is my creation. I just had an idea one day, and I mean, it's not making me, like, it's turned bigger than what I ever thought it was going to be.
All right, and you've already answered the next few questions, but let's get on to the being a coach and, participating in battles. So when it comes to battling itself, again, you've been in a few seasons, not seasons, a few. Well, you have now, but you've been in a few leagues. You've mentioned it, so I'm guessing you have a lot of battles under your belt. I mean, you even upload battles on your YouTube channel, so I know you do a lot of battles. But when it comes to battling itself, what do you think is your greatest strength?
Um, I feel like my greatest strength is planning. I feel like when I'm able to plan, see, the thing about me in league format is I know when I planned well, because when I plan well, when I go all out my prep, I feel 100% confident in my match. And I feel as if when I have that confidence, I can beat anybody. Like I don't care how good they're supposed to be, how good they are. I feel like when I prep to the standard that I like to hold myself to prep, I can beat anyone.
Yeah, I like to talk about that mentality, that confidence. You feel like you can be anyone. And honestly, when people are confident, they do make better plays and they do play a lot better. So I like how you talk about you like to plan and feel confident, because when you are confident, you do play better. So, I definitely see that in you. So that's awesome. But let's look at the opposite side of the spectrum. You talked about your greatest strength is planning, but what's your greatest weakness?
In league format or in battling in general?
In battling in general.
Uh, Honestly, I think in battling in general, my weakness now is the fact that I play league format too much. And what I mean by that is I'm so out of the game as far as standard play that I forget, well, not that I forget, but it's like I'm ignorant to what switch-ins are now. Like when I used to play Showdown, just, random OU, UU, all that stuff, I was fine. Like I would know 100% of the time, oh yeah, I gotta switch out. I can't stand this is Zard X and on a Don fan or something like that. I have to switch out. But playing league format now and using so many different mons, I'm not used to just a tier. So
Yeah.
I run a lot of calcs when I'm doing my prep to see what I can take and what I can't take. So that kind of desensitized me to just standard playing as far as battling. And I'm not saying I'm a horrible battler now or anything like that, but it's just it kind of made league format my comfort zone, and standard play is no longer my comfort zone.
Alrighty. But you talked about how your greatest weakness in regular battling is that you do league formatting. But let's talk about in league formatting, what do you think is your greatest weakness in like a league format battle?
Yeah, okay. I would say my greatest weakness is sometimes, see, it's weird because the fact that I consistently play in leagues, I feel like I'm a way better battler for league than I was last season, because I keep on playing and I keep seeing myself getting better. If you asked me this last season, I would say live calming was my greatest weakness, because it's not the fact that I'm live calming, it's the fact that I'm playing a battle that's being recorded live. The nerves are crazy because I don't want to look stupid live,
Mm.
and you really want to win. So it's like when you're live calming, all that stuff stacks up against you, and people. That's the main thing I feel about, how when people attack people in the comment sections, the GBA games and UCL games, especially the ones that do live com, because not too many people know how awkward it is to do a live com battle. But if you were to ask me now, I mean, I'm way better at live com now. I don't really get as nervous anymore. I'm able to think out all my plays. So I feel as live com now for me is a strength, because I actually know how to sit there and say, and instead of just blindly clicking a button, like, wait, no, what can he do to me? All right, he can do that. That's not that. That's not, like, I can actually take the time to think everything out. But my weakness would be now is that sometimes I play too safe,
Mm.
which is another thing that I'm growing on. Sometimes I gotta learn when, like, obviously I know, but sometimes I value Pokemon too much. Like, there's a situation where I have a Pokemon in, and if I get hit again, I can die. But if I stay in, I can also do massive amounts of damage to what's in front of me. But then I'll switch it out, and then let something else that didn't need to take damage. So it's just like me being too safe, trying to save everything, I feel is my biggest weakness right now.
Alrighty. So you talked about playing too safe, but I also want to say that, again, I'm come from a VGC background, but from my experience at least, it's, you do want to play safely, but, not too safe. I'm just curious, so this is what I like to call in real life, for those that know me personally, a gamer's instinct, where you just, specifically, Pokemon, you're trying to predict your opponent, you just have that gut feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, just out of curiosity, actually. So do you actually follow that more or not?
What, you mean like my gut instinct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like it's strong, I tend to... No, I'll follow it if it's a neutral situation.
All right.
Meaning, if I go for it, nothing bad's gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
But if it's a 50-50 situation, whereas if I go for it and I'm wrong, I lose my mind. No, I don't go for it.
You take the safe play then.
Yeah, I take the safe play.
All right, I like that. That's a good path to follow. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't want to say logic, but like step by step, situation. I like that. So we talked a lot about you, but let's talk about the Pokemon now. So a lot of Pokemon this season. You got your megas, your non-megas. So hyped for this, especially again as a VGC player. I can see Pokemon like, I forget, is Hoopa gonna be in season 2?
I believe right now the voting for it is 50-50. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right, because I remember voting took place, but I don't remember if we actually ended up banning it or not. But, Pokemon like that, or even Kieran Black, I don't, as a VGC player, I never get to see that. So that's why I'm always, loving the league format and watching the battles, because it's seeing Pokemon I've never seen before. But when it comes to your opinion, what is the most overrated Pokemon in this league format?
In league format, and overrated Pokemon. Let me think. There's quite a few. There are quite a few. See, a lot of people say Mega Altaria. Some people say Zard X. Hold on, I'm trying to think, because as far as overrated, I can only think of like tier 1 as far like that you can honestly say would be overrated, or Mega. And I'm hold on, I think Mega Aerodactyl is overrated. Honestly. No jabs at your mascot.
I was about to say, I feel so hurt right now.
Only reason why I say that is because in season 1, I believe I had it tier 2, tier 3. It wasn't a tier 1 Mega. And everybody jumped down, well, not everybody, but a bunch of my friends from the competitive side jumped down my neck. Mega Aerodactyl's a tier 1 Mega. It's too good to be tier 2. It's too good to be tier 3. And yes, it's I think it might be the fastest Pokemon.
I believe it is tied for Mega. Wait, no.
Yeah, it might be tied with Mega Alakazam.
Yeah, it's tied for Mega Alakazam.
Both base 150.
Yeah.
Its move pool is trash.
It's awful.
Especially with its ability. Its move pool is absolute garbage.
I wish it got Brave Bird.
That's why yes, it's fast. Yes, you have to run a Scarfer to outspeed it. Like, yeah, if you have that, you're pretty much guaranteed to not be outsped. And if you are outsped, for a fact that whatever just outsped you was a Scarfer. But it doesn't get any moves to take advantage of its amazing ability. Yeah. And even with that, its coverage, like standard Mega Aerodactyl runs what? Stone Edge, Aqua Tail, Aerial Ace. Like it doesn't get any good flying attacks.
No, I don't blame you.
If it got Brave Bird,
please.
Now Mega Aerodactyl would be amazing.
Yeah. Gen 7, make it happen.
Please make it happen. Give Mega Aerodactyl, Gyarados, Dragonite, all Brave Bird. Me and Jack were talking about this in a video that will be uploaded on my channel this week. Just do it, Game Freak. Come on.
Please, give Aerodactyl some love.
But yeah, Mega Aerodactyl, it would have to be my most overrated. And I know somebody's probably going to listen to this interview and draft it out of spite just because I said that. But, I mean, yes, it's a threat, just like everything has the opportunity to be a threat. But I feel like it doesn't warrant a tier 1.
I completely agree. I did try Mega Aerodactyl once in VGC. Awful. I remember facing a Virizion, and I remember, I can Sky Drop it. and then I couldn't. So I looked up. Virizion is literally like one decimal over what the weight limit is for Skydrop. So you can't Skydrop it because that's what I didn't need to see. I was so sad. I'm like, no, that's why I use him.
Why is Skydrop a thing?
I don't. I used it to.
Come on, Game Freak.
I use it to get openings, but still.
We just need more physical flying attacks in general.
We really do. I mean, I think the only good flying type attacks I can think of is Brave Bird, maybe Hurricane.
Fly, bounce, all of the ones usable are 2 turns.
Yeah. Now there even Skydrop. I'm not Skydrop. Sky Attack. You need a power herb.
Unless you want to pull out Lugia and use that Aero Blast.
That's true. That is true, Lugia. But I don't blame you. I mean, it does get the elemental fang moves, but I mean, it's still not, it's not stab. They're only based like 60s. Even with tough claws, they're not that good. I mean,
yeah, and it's like with the fang moves, that's how you can say the same for Mega Lopunny, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, Mega Lopunny gets Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, but in most situations,
you're gonna be wanting to run stab.
Its dual stabs are going to do more damage anyway, unless you're going up against a Garchomp, a Gliscor, a Fortress, stuff like that. So it's like, I mean, pick your poison. I remember when I was a noob, I used to think, oh my god, I get Fire Fang, Thunder Fang, Ice Fang, coverage, and just throw it on everything and do negligible damage. So I mean,
Mega Aerodactyl gets walled so easily, even with the quote-unquote coverage. Like, it just...
yeah, exactly.
So
Quote unquote. I mean, I think they should boost the fangs to base 75 power.
That would actually make it more viable.
And move Ice Fang to 75 and give it to Kyurem Black. All right, and Weavile.
Yes. Speaking.
Or just think of Weavile with base 75 Fang moves in general.
Oh yeah.
It has fangs.
It does.
Doesn't it evolve with a? No, it evolves with the Razor Claw, I'm pretty sure.
But it does have fangs, like...
It has fangs. Give it Thunder Fang. Give it Fire... Oh, my lord. Weavile. Send that Feral Thorn in if you want and get these fangs.
Yeah. Speaking of Kyurem, the one thing that bothers me about Kyurem, it has these great fists. Why doesn't it have Ice Punch?
Because, honestly... If Kyurem got Ice Punch, Ice Shard, and Earthquake, it would be the most breaking Pokemon of all time.
That is true.
Black.
It would definitely be much, much more used.
Like, if you don't want to give it Ice Punch, give it Ice Shard. And if you give it Ice Shard, now you're giving something with base 70 attack in Kyurem Black.
Yeah.
A priority move. And, yeah, no, that's a no-no.
Alrighty. So moving on to... You talked about the most overrated Pokemon, Mega Aerodactyl. I don't blame you. Some part of me feels a little hurt, but I don't blame you at all.
I swear it wasn't personal.
No, I know. But what do you think is the most underrated Pokemon? Let's move to the opposite side of the spectrum.
The most underrated Pokemon in this format is Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham never gets drafted.
Never.
I drafted it once. In the PDL, the draft league ran by my good friend RG the Awesome, and my team was just amazing in that league. But I drafted it there, and it did work. I love Mega Medicham. It is, for a long time, until I found out the amazement of Mega Lopunny. It was my favorite Mega of all time. Like, it was my favorite Mega. But, Mega Medicham doesn't get the respect it deserves. I'm not going to sit here and harp on it because I don't want anybody to draft it just in case, just because I'm talking about it. But, yeah, Mega Medicham is beautiful, man. By far, if it wasn't for the fact that it's base 100 speed and that's easy to prep for in League format, I think that's its only thing that stops it, because there's a lot of things that hit that base 100 speed. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that outspeed that base 100 speed, but it gets multiple ways of priority, pure power so that it hits ridiculously hard, high jump kick, 2-hit KOs, everything.
It's monstrous.
It's, I think my draft plan, oh my lord, my draft plan might be changing, people.
Really quick, let's, talk about Medicham since we're on it. So base 100 attack, base power, base stat 100, but with that pure power, it goes to 200, correct?
Yep.
So you have base 200 attack, and then you have a great move pool. You have high jump kick.
An amazing move pool. And people even forget that this thing gets bullet punch.
It gets bullet punch. It gets fake out, which is a nice. Not as common, I believe, in League format, but still really nice. Stab by jump kick's great, and it does get Zen Headbutt. Does it get Psycho Cut? But I think you use Zen Headbutt anyway.
Does it get Psycho? Yeah, it does get Psycho Cut. I'm pretty sure.
I think people prefer Zen Headbutt though for the flinch.
The flinch chance.
Yeah, and it's also the higher accuracy. But you also have the elemental punches, I believe, as well. So you got good coverage with that base 200 power. It's Mega Mention can be very versatile as a sweeper, and by versatile I mean can attack a lot of things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, underrated Pokemon, I believe you're the second person to mention Medicham, but Medicham, I'm hoping someone drafts it now just to see all the work.
See, that's one of my choices to draft, but I have like 3 mons I want to draft, and spoiler alert, I already know my draft position, people, so I mean, and I already know what's getting drafted before me. So it's pretty much whatever I feel like using on the day of the draft is what I'm going to draft.
Alrighty. So, you've been in a few leagues, and this is your second time being in the PMC. Do you have any expectations for yourself?
After last season was, I started off horrible, but I ended up making playoffs. I went 5-4. Lost to Lucky 1-0 in the first round of the playoffs because of his Hitmontop. Expectations of this season, I just want to act as if last season never happened and be the player that I know I can be. I mean, most people see me as a good player. I'm usually always a playoff team, but I want to take it a step above that, and I want to try to win, man. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm winning the championship 100% or anything like that, but I don't know. I just want to... What, do you want me to give you like a record expectation or just...
Oh, no, just, you said you want to make playoffs. That's, unless you have, do you want to try to predict your record? Let me get a prediction.
Last season, I think I went 5-4-1 because I got a DMP because I was out of town and I couldn't come home on time. And my opponent didn't want to, give me some time so that we just played when I got home. So I had to take the DMP loss there. For myself personally, I'd love to get 10 wins, but I know with how the competition is, it is hard. But you know what? I'll say 8 wins. I want no less than 8 wins this season.
Alrighty. Well, I bet you can make it, and I want to see you hit those 8 wins.
Indeed, I'll do my best. I'm gonna get back to my good old prepping ways and try to win me some matches out here.
Alrighty. So to get those 8 wins, though, you gotta battle well and have team preparation. Do you have any inspiration? Any players or YouTubers, anyone else in the world that inspire your battling style or team building or preparation?
Yes, I do. Not necessarily team prep or battle style, because I feel like I can change my style depending on the team I bring. So, I guess you can say I try to be like Jspeckz in that case, but I don't look at Jspeckz and say, I'm going to be like him. The only inspiration I have is in terms of live comm, because last season when I was playing bad, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I'm better than this. I'm doing horrible at live comm. I'm so nervous. So I literally started studying all the top live commers I know. I watched all of Joey's UCL Season 1. I watched all of Dan's UCL Season 1. I watched all of Dan's championship season from the GBA. I watched all of Mogwai. And I just paid attention to how they talk themselves through. They don't panic. No matter what's happening, they just talk out every possible scenario. They think about what's their best play, what's a middle ground play, what's a dumb play. And I wouldn't say I tried to copy them, but it helped me think more about what I was doing before I did it. Because, on Showdown, you can mindlessly click a button, but then you can press cancel. There's no cancel on Wi-Fi.
There is
so I make sure I don't necessarily take as long as Nappy takes to make his moves because it doesn't take me that long to, identify the best possible play in my mind. But I take what needs to be. I take what I feel is the time that's needed to be took to make a optimal play, and then I go for that play.
Alrighty. Well, I want to thank you for your time coming on to the interview.
Nah, no problem.
And
No problem.
we just have one last question before we head out. I don't know if you remember this, but who will be our PMC Season 2 champion? Who will it be?
Mayor McCheese himself, man. You know I'm coming out for my own cup, and if I lose, I will block all of you on Twitter. I will block all of you on Skype, and I will report all your channels for spam.
I might need to block you before that then.
You can't just counter block me.
Alright.
I can't lose in my own league. Nah, but all seriousness, I really do want to win. I really feel like I have a good opportunity to win because I'm not a bad player. I'm a good player, and I just got to play the way I know I can play. But I'm looking forward to the tests because we have a lot of good players here. We got Bird, we got CJ, we got all these great players. Whoever wins the D League coming in, I'm just hyped, man, because I don't know about you, Arrow, but there's no greater feeling than prepping really good for a really good opponent and winning.
Well, I don't know about prepping for an opponent. I just know about prepping for a tournament.
Well, I mean, you get the concept.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to shout out my boy Dallas, too. My boy Dallas came back home. He's back with us. He got all famous, making GBA sheets and whatnot. No, he's one of us. He give us back Esperanza. He is here. And I finally get to battle him for once this season.
Mm-hmm. So, are you guys in the same, what's it? Not...
division?
Division, yeah.
No, we're in a different division, but... he's literally my only friend I've never battled.
Oh, wow.
And if I had to look at any of my friends and pick who I thought was the best, I would say it was him. His prep brings out the best in me. Like, that's another thing about me when it comes to prepping. My prep goes to another level when I feel like the level of the person I'm prepping against is high. Obviously no disrespect to anybody else. But it's just like, I know Dallas thinks out of the box. Like, he comes with the craziest stuff possible. And not saying that to beat that you have to bring crazy stuff, but to beat that you have to be prepared for everything.
Oh, definitely.
And I feel like he brings the best out of me in terms of my prep. I feel as soon as I prep for him, I'm going to be back to where everybody consider me as one of the better prepsters in this format.
Prepsters.
And yeah. Prepsters.
I like that. Prepsters. I need to remember that. Well, again, thank you for coming and talking. We're getting to know the coaches and the commissioner before the season actually starts. So thank you again for your time.
No problem at all. Thank you all for having the time to help me out, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm really enjoying this. And for you viewers at home, thank you for watching this. We're having this series, getting to know the coaches before the actual tournament, and this is going to be great. So I hope you guys are watching these and enjoying to get to know the coaches and the commissioners. I say commissioners because, Tyler was also co-commissioner.
Indeed, but he is a horse.
Indeed. He is a horse. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I am Noah JTRA. You have a blessed day and a blessed week, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.